These are 5 matches WWE must add to WrestleMania 42. Matches with real storylines, real heat, and real stakes that are somehow still not officially on the card with just 24 days to go. WrestleMania 42 runs April 18th and 19th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, the same building that drew 124,693 fans over 2 nights last year and became the most successful, highest-grossing event in WWE history. 6 matches are confirmed right now, and reports put the final card somewhere between 14 and 16 total. That leaves 8 to 10 spots still open, and some of the most compelling stories on the entire roster still have nowhere to land. Here are the 5 matches that need to be on that card. Match 5. Trick Williams vs. Sami Zayn. Start with a match that has the ingredients for one of the most memorable moments of the entire weekend. Trick Williams has been making serious noise since arriving on SmackDown, and the Whoop That Trick chant has become a genuine crowd staple, which is not something WWE manufacturing can fake. Officials have taken notice of how naturally he carries the spotlight, and according to Body Slam, the internal conversation about putting Williams opposite Sami Zayn at WrestleMania has already happened. Their early exchanges were enough to get that discussion going at the top level. Sami Zayn doesn't need an introduction, but his WrestleMania track record does. The emotional tag title win with Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 49. Then last year in Las Vegas, he missed WrestleMania 41 entirely. His WWE Championship chase has run through Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, and Jacob Fatu, and none of it has gotten him there, which has left a visible frustration building in his character. And that's where this match becomes genuinely interesting. Williams has been working as a heel, but the crowd keeps cheering him anyway, and on the March 20th SmackDown, he turned up at ringside while Zayn was competing. A deliberate creative tease that WWE didn't bother hiding. The most celebrated double turn in wrestling history happened at WrestleMania 13 between Bret Hart and Steve Austin, nearly 30 years ago, and WWE almost never attempts it. But the conditions for it exist right now, in this exact pairing. For Williams, this would be his WrestleMania debut. For Zayn, it would be his return after missing the show last year. That story tells itself. Match 4. Io Sky vs. Asuka. Next is a match that carries weight beyond the result. Io Sky and Asuka rank among the most decorated women in WWE history, 2 of the most respected names to come out of Japanese wrestling, and they have been circling each other for over a year, with Kairi Sane caught directly between them. Body Slam Plus has reported that WWE has actual plans to bring them together at WrestleMania 42, finally delivering a proper singles match on the biggest stage they have. Both women carry WrestleMania experience, both have held major championships, and both have the ability to deliver something genuinely worth watching in front of a full Allegiant Stadium crowd. One thing worth tracking closely, Io Sky is already tied to a confirmed women's US title match against Julia, and whether WWE fits both matches on the card, or whether plans shift in these final weeks remains an open question. But the creative intent is reportedly there, and this is a match that has been building towards something. WrestleMania is the right place to pay it off. Match 3. Gunther vs. Rey Mysterio. This one has a fully constructed villain, a legend, and a finish that practically writes itself, as long as everyone can stay healthy enough to get there. Over the past year, Gunther has built one of the most methodical and ruthless characters in WWE. Bill Goldberg retired. John Cena tapped out in his final match. AJ Styles' career ended at the Royal Rumble in January. WWE has been deliberately branding him as a career killer, and the original creative plan was always for that path to lead directly to Rey Mysterio and a WrestleMania showdown. The problem arrived on January 26th, one day before the Royal Rumble, when Rey Mysterio fractured his ribs on both sides of his body on Raw. He made the trip anyway, entered the Rumble match regardless, and hasn't competed since. And at 51 years old, he had already lost over 7 months of 2025 to a torn groin and a ruptured eardrum suffered the day before WrestleMania 41. The man simply will not stop showing up, which is the entire point of why this match works. None of that matters to Gunther's calendar, though. His last television appearance was March 2nd on Raw, a win over Dragon Lee, and since then there has been no promo, no backstage segment, no announcement of any kind. According to Dave Meltzer, the 3 names internally considered as Gunther's WrestleMania opponent were Mysterio, Femi, and Brock Lesnar. Femi and Lesnar are now matched against each other. The field has narrowed to one realistic option. WWE has 3 weeks to act on it. Match 2. Seth Rollins vs. Seth Breaker. This is the match that was supposed to already be happening, and the fact that it isn't is one of the most frustrating injury stories of the past several months. October 13th, 2025 on Raw, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed turned on Seth Rollins, ended the alliance, and immediately established what looked like a clear WrestleMania program. WWE had originally planned to hold this storyline for later in 2026, but Rollins' injury pushed the creative timeline forward, and then both men ended up sidelined before any of it could develop. Rollins tore his rotator cuff at Crown Jewel in October, and Breaker went down in February with a serious hernia that required emergency surgery, with recovery estimates ranging from 12 weeks to 6 months. Paul Heyman stood on Raw this past Monday, March 24th, and flatly told the audience that Braun Breaker would not be back anytime soon, which is the kind of statement that either kills a match or sets one up. But here's the thing. Seth Rollins returned at Elimination Chamber in Chicago and revealed himself as the masked man who had caused Breaker the Royal Rumble, making the personal nature of this feud impossible to ignore. And reports from WWE TV indicated that officials were optimistic Breaker could be cleared to return before WrestleMania. He is reportedly heading to the WWE Performance Center in Orlando for a medical evaluation. Dave Meltzer wrote in the Wrestling Observer that both men are rehabbing as hard as they can to get back. A backup plan does exist. If Breakker can't make it, reports indicate Rollins versus Logan Paul is the alternative, and that match has real history behind it, including their WrestleMania 39 encounter, plus the fact that Paul was pulled into Heyman's faction after Heyman pushed Rollins out. That version of the match works, but it's not the match WWE spent months building toward, and with 24 days still on the clock, the door isn't closed yet.